A pleasant morning, everyone. My name is Mary Princess Sipuntlara, and I came from Group 4. Today, we will going to discuss the Chapter 10, which is entitled Channel Institutions Retailing. The learning objectives for this chapter are to understand what retailing is all about, global retail scene and trends, Indian retail scene and trends, types of retailers, trade and retail formats, trading area, retail management strategies and operations, measuring retail performance, franchising and e-tailing, and foreign direct investment or FDI in retail in India. What is retailing? Any business entity selling to consumers directly is retailing. In a shop, in person, by mail, on the internet, telephone, or a vending machine. Consumers do not resell. They purchase a product for personal or family use or personal consumption. Retail also has a life cycle. Newer forms of retail come to replace the older ones. The corner grocer may change to a supermarket, meaning there is improvement or progress in retailing, for there are new forms of retail stores that exist. It includes all activities involved in selling or renting products or services to consumers for their home or personal consumption. Retailing. The term retail derived from French word retailler, meaning to break bulk. Characteristics. Order sizes tend to be small but many. For example, candies, shampoos, toothpaste, and soaps. Caters to a wide variety of customers. Keeps a large assortment of goods. Yes, because even ang atong mga younger ones, ang atong mga elders, male or female, gina-accommodate gid sa mga retailers or ginabligyan gid nila. Lot of buying in the outlet is impulse. Inventory management is critical. Impulse because most of the customers purchase a product which they have not planned. Meaning, bisan wala sa listahan nila, ginabakal nila, or bisan wala nila ginaplanuhan, ginabakal nila. Selling personnel and displays are important elements of the selling process because ang mga salespeople or ang mga sales representative, kung mga buot or kabalog sila mag-entertain sila mga customer, more likely ang mga customer ngayon na mabakal gid liwat sa dira nga store. Pero kung ka mga suplada, pwede talikdan sila sa ilang customer or hindi na magbalik liwat ang ilang customer. And the displays, kung nami ang ilang pag-display sa ilang mga product, most likely ma-attractin ang customer ng magbakal sa ilang product bisa hindi man nila gid kinahanglan. Strengths in availability and visibility. Strength ina sang customer ay sang retailer, sang retailer nga makita gid sang customer nga available ang ilang mga product or ang iya ginapangita available sa sinang store. And visibility, makita man sang customer nga okay gid ang ilang mga products, wala mga damages or ang iya mga features or ng characteristics sang amon ang product is makita gid sang customer. Targeted customer mix decide the marketing mix of the retailer. So the marketing mix is apektuhan sang customer mix sang sina nga retail store. Because sila ang ga-decide kung ano nga marketing mix ang i-use sang retailer. Retail stores are independent of the producers, not attached to any of them. According to Matthew Hudson, independent retailer is the one who builds their business without help from an established brand. For example, kung ikaw nag-establish ka sa imong own Subway restaurant, hindi na siya matawag na retailing. But a franchise business and ang tawag sa imo is franchisee. Pero kung ikaw yung nag-establish kaya sang imo yung nga own line of jewelry or mga products na nga imo gid yan, pwede kaya makonsider nga independent retailer. A survey shows that only 35% of supermarket purchases are pre-planned. The rest are impulse, greatly influenced by quality of the merchandising efforts. Pre-planned ng ang 35% kuno, pero mostly kuno ya is impulse because ng sang ilang merchandising effort, ng ilang displays, ng ilang mga products, ang ambience nga gina-give nila sa customers, ang ambience ng ilang store, ang ilang mga lightings, and ng that merchandising effort is very important because ng pwede na siya maka-motivate sa customer nga mag-buy sang imong product bisan hindi nila gid kinahanglan or hindi man nila ng gid bala usaron sa ina nga time. Functions of retailers. Number 1, marketing functions to provide consumers a wide variety. Example, sa supermarket, retailers offer their customers a different varieties of fruits and vegetables. Number 2, helps create time, place, and possession utilities. Time utility is having a product available at a certain time of the year or a convenient time of the day. The given example is retailers offer large supplies of backpacks in the late summer near the beginning of the school year because kabalugid sila nga ang mga students ga-prepare na daan sa ilang mga kinahanglanon before the opening of their classes. Place utility, having a product where customers can buy it. Businesses study consumer shopping habits to determine the best sales outlet for their products. Outlets include catalogs, the internet, and the retail stores. It is where the customers want to purchase their product. Possession utility, created by transfer of physical possession and ownership of a product to a consumer. It facilitates customer ownership of the product. It can be done through paying cash or ang mga alternatives sa cash nga checks, debit cards, layaways, and credit cards. Form utility. It involves changing raw materials into usable goods or putting parts together to make them more useful. Sometimes exchanges have been made to the products in the distribution channel. For example, sa potato corner, ang potato ginaluto para maging fries, and the thread, the needles, and the fabrics are used together to make clothes. May add form utility alteration of a trouser bought by a customer. Number 4, it helps create an image for the products he sells. Number 5, add value through additional services just like extended store timings, credit, and home delivery. So, pwede mo na maging edge sa imong mga competitors kung mag-extend kaya sa imo time, opening sa imo store or closing sa imo store, nang tapos magpa-credit just like sa mga home credits. And home delivery, example ang imo ya competitors, wala sila free delivery, ikaw yung may-ara. So, pwede mo na maging edge sa ila. Personnel to identify and solve customer problems. Personal because ang mga sales people or mga sales representatives sa isa ka retail store, maka-add gina sila value sang imo product ng kung masabat nila ang mga queries sang inyong mga customers or ang mga problems ang customer problem ma-solve nila. Location in a bazaar to facilitate comparison shopping. So, advantageous man kung may ka retail stores isa ka bazaar para kung ma-compare man sa mga customers nga makita man nila nga ang imo product is better than them or better kaysa sa imong mga competitors. How do customers decide on a retailer. First is the price. We consumers tend to purchase in a retail store nga ga-offer mas barato kag dako ang aton nga matipid, di ba? Next is the location. Location, pre sa akon, ang Foodman is lapit sa amon house kaysa sa Prince Hypermart. So as a customer, I will choose to buy my needs sa Foodman rather than Prince Hypermart. Product selection, meaning easy para sa aton nga mga customers makita ang aton mga kinanglanon nga products or ang mga pwede maging substitute sa aton mga kinanglanon in order to satisfy our needs. Fairness in dealings. Yes, 'di ba? Kung ang mga retailers or ang mga sales people ng isa ka retail store is fair sa ila mga customers, whether ano pa ng ilang mga social status or ang ilang economic status, ano man ang ilang mga age or gender, ng same nga respect ang ginahatag sa ila or same nga treatment ang ginagive sa ila. Friendly salespeople, meaning the salespeople are ma-approach mo balado ang customers, ido hindi mag-hesitate nga mag-approach sa mga salespeople or mga sales representatives to ask ng assistance para example makita ang ilang mga kinahanglan nga products. Specialized services provided, meaning the salespeople, the sales representatives, or ang mga employees sa sinang retail store is well trained and have ng skills, enough nga skills to help the customers of that retail store.
So my topic is about kinds of retailers, wherein a type of retailers and their characteristics. First, here is the specialty store. A narrow products line with deep assortment, just like apparel, furnitures, and books. So sa specialty store, dumiyara sila sang specialized nga products wherein kung gasel sila books lang ang tanan, furnitures man, just like sa National Bookstore, if sa iya pa lang ang name, so kabalo ka na din sa product or ano ang specialty niya. Next is the department store. Several product line in different departments, such as Shopper Stop and Big Bazaar. So ang example sa department store, ang SM, di ba may department store ang SM, wherein nga may mga Big Bazaar or discounted products na mag-sale sila, 3-day sale. So damo-damo kapilian kay damo departments or product inline ang sa department store. Next is the supermarket. Large, low cost, low margin, high volume, self-service operation with a wide offering. So supermarket, ang pinaka-nearest example sa aton is ang Save More. Now pag sulod mo dira, self-service, makuha ka sang kariton and imo itulod-tulod, then you can choose your kung ano man ang gusto mo or anong dapat mo baklon sa supermarket. So next is the convenience store. Small stores in residential area, open long hours all days of the week. Limited variety of fast moving products like groceries and food. So ang convenience store, from the word itself, dapat convenient, wherein sa isa ka residential area, common ang convenience store, just like sari-sari store is example of convenience store. Ang 7-Eleven man is also an example of convenience store, wherein ga-open sila almost 24 hours. And next is the discount store. Standard merchandise sold at lower prices for low margins. Example is Subic siya. So Subiska is a retail chain based in India. So they are actually selling for groceries, fruits, vegetables, and mobile phones, wherein the type of consumer getting of discounted. For example, magbakal ka sa mobile phones, mag-sale 10% or 5%, amo nang natawag nga discount store. Next in line, the type of retailers is the corporate chains. More outlets owned and controlled by one firm. Example here is Globos. Ang Globos may ara sa mga retail chain wherein nga daw wala sa focus sa isa ka company, pero control sa Japan sang isa ka firm. Another example is the JG Summit Holdings Incorporated, wherein ang retail outlet nila naga-focus sa air transportation, sa beverages, and sa food and groceries, pero control sa Japan sang isa lang ka firm, which is the JG Summit. Next is the voluntary chain, wholesaler sponsored group of independent retailers. So sa voluntary chain, example here is the drugstore nga makita nyo sa inyo nga barangay or sa diri sa amon pareho sa Talipapa. They run a business which is a voluntary chain na may freedom sila of choice nga kung anong pilion nila nga product nga i-resell. Kaya syempre kung anong bakal mo ginaang pilion nila, hindi man siguro sa isa ka company kung anong products ang mga company dapat ara man sa iya. So voluntary nimo. So may choice ang retailer or ang reseller nga kung anong pilion niya nga product. Next is the retailer cooperatives, independent retailers with centralized buying operations and common promotions. So ang retailer cooperatives is just like ang isa ka retailer or damo sila nga retailer naga-merge sila to come up for the common promotions and kung paano ma-centralize ang mga buying promotions, ang ilang kung paano maging ganyo sa mga customers. Kay damo na sila idea, syempre damo sila nga mga retailer, maka-come up with sila or maka-brainstorm sila sang idea kung paano mapasaka ang rate sang buying operations. And next is the consumer cooperatives, co-op societies of groups of consumer operating their own stores. Example is the farmers, industrial workers, and etc. So ang consumer cooperatives, pwede ka run ang isa ka farmers or ang industrial workers. Kaya syempre if mayara ka man lang kapital, then kung gusto mo man patukod sang retail business, paagi sa consumer cooperatives, pwede mong palago basta may amo man siya, choice mo man siya, do ka voluntary man niya chain. Next is the franchise organization, contractual arrangement between the producer and retailers selling products exclusively. Example here is the Camp Toys. So diba sa franchise organization or sa franchise business, hindi madula ang contractual agreement or arrangement wherein ang manufacturer and ang gusto mag-franchise or the franchisee may ara sang deal kung paano nila i-resell ang product or pila ang price. Dapat ara sa kasulatan nga kasi syempre kung ano ang giyos ang franchisee dire ma-reflect man sa manufacturer sang Camp Toys. Next is the retailer scene global, well organized in most developing countries. Global biz worth about $6.6 trillion, and sa retail market size is 2,325 BLN, or ang BLN abbreviation sang billion. So $2.325 billion in the US and $280 billion in India. Organized retail is 85%. It is based on the US, and about 5% in India, and China 20%, and Taiwan 80%. So as we can see, ang organized retail naga-base gid or taas ang rating nga sa USA kumpara sa ibang nga country. Kaya syempre ang US lapad eh. And retail sector is part of the service sector, and if organized is a major contributor to a country's GDP. Next to that is the high potential for generating employees. 2 MLN or 2 million retail outlets in the US employ about 22 million people. So if taas ang employment sang retail company or retail chain sa isa ka country, also taas man ang employment. Adamong matagaan nya employment ay 2 million ang retail outlets, pero mang matagaan sang obra 22 million people. Next, the retail sector contributes significantly to the growth of the economy. So ang retail sector have the highest role or the important role para mag-growth ang economy sang isa ka country. Kay syempre business and damo retail stores and retail chain nga sang aton naging topic agina. Then one of the factor nga mag-growth gid ang economy, just like sa US, 2 million ang ilang retail outlets, damo-damo ang matagaan sing obra. So ang government dako ang makuha nila nga tax, kay damo ang mga nagaulubra nga mga employee. So muna ang makabulig sa sang growth sang economy. Organized retail is becoming powerful over its suppliers, who may also be big corporates. Producers of goods taking action to protect their turf. Okay, next is the and if organized is a major contributor to a country's GDP. Next to that is the high potential for generating employees. 2 MLN or 2 million retail outlets in the US employ about 22 million people. So if taas ang employment sang retail company or retail chain sa isa ka country, also taas man ang employment. Adamong matagaan nya employment ay 2 million ang retail outlets, pero mang matagaan sang obra 22 million people. Next, the retail sector contributes significantly to the growth of the economy. So ang retail sector have the highest role or the important role para mag-growth ang economy sang isa ka country. Kay syempre business and damo retail stores and retail chain nga sang aton naging topic agina. Then one of the factor nga mag-growth gid ang economy, just like sa US, 2 million ang ilang retail outlets, damo-damo ang matagaan sing obra. So ang government dako ang makuha nila nga tax, kay damo ang mga nagaulubra nga mga employee. So muna ang makabulig sa sang growth sang economy. Organized retail is becoming powerful over its suppliers, who may also be big corporates. Producers of goods taking action to protect their turf. The retailer's strength, choice of merchandise is their prerogative put pressure on producers, suppliers. So as I said, isa sa retailer's strength ang choice of merchandise, because kung ano lang ang gusto nila i-resell or i-retail sa ilang business, mahimo nila. Kaya syempre choice nila. Next, the many new products on offer can charge penalty if products do not do well. So may right ang isa ka retailer or ang mag-franchise sa isa ka product if wala or may damage or defect. Para sa mga cellphones, pwede sila ka-charge penalty. Last, the new developments in IT help them run operations optimally and keep track of loyal customers. Yeah, it also helps them to identify profitable store locations. So as the time pass by, no, ang developments through ano na lang gani, internet or gadgets, matrack nila ang mga loyal customers. Kasi syempre maka-identify sang ilang profit kung diin ang mga store locations nga pwede nila ginansyahan. So I think the next reporter will discuss the Indian retail scene.
The India retail sees, wherein India is the country that having the most unrecognized retail. It is a family livelihood, or shop in front and house at the back, while they run a retail business. India retail sector is estimated at around Rs 900,000, of which the organized sectors account for a mere 2%, indicating a huge potential market opportunity that is lying in the waiting for the consumer-savvy organized retail. Okay, now, the retail industry in India. India is ranked as the fifth global destination for retail space, where in India, industry accounted for US dollars for 950 billion in 2018 at CAGR of 13% and expected to reach US dollars for 1.1 million by 2020. And also, online retail in India is projected to grow to US dollars for 60 billion by 2020. And also, the India revenue offline retail, also known as brick and mortar (B&M) retailers, is expected to increase by US dollars 1.39 to 2.77 billion in FY20.
Salient features. First is estimated 12 million retail outlets, with most of them in the organized sector. Second is 10 outlets per 1,000 population. Third is average per capita space with 2 square feet compared to 15 square feet in the US. Organized retail is estimated between 4 to 7% but growing fast. When we say salient feature, it is a defining elements that distinguish one target from another, or it is a distinct characteristic that facilitate recognition of an image, object, environment, or person. When we say salient feature, it is a characteristic. Example of the characteristic is like an object, a characteristic of a person, characteristic of the environment. Um, Examples of salient features in a retail is they have small quantities, also they have sales to ultimate consumers, they have variety of foods, they have personal contacts, and also have the shop displays to attract the customers, and last is they know how to use distribution channel for their customers. Organized retail first is growing trends attracting global players. Second, some of them like Walmart and Tesco have already created the buying hubs here. In January 2006, Chow has permitted FDI up to 15% single brand retail outlet. Last is well-known brands like Marks and Spencer, Reebok, Levi's, Adidas, like McDonald's, KFC, and Swarovski are already in Asia. When we say organized retail, it is a sectors which consists of the companies which are associated with productions or sales of goods and services that operates as private limited organization which governed by the Companies Act. The organized retail sector can be characterized. The retail setup are owned by customers. Organized retails, they offer direct interaction with the customers. They have small quantities and make large quantities. They have customer service. They point of sales promotion. They have different forms. They have locations and layout. That is very important. And big employment provider, wherein it is also providing in the India. Organized retail feature. First, sponsored by companies are corporate groups, large format like supermarket, department stores, and now hypermarket. Right ambience to make shopping a pleasure. Use latest technology for customers, cares, and supply chain management. Large employment potential. Effectively manage operating costs. Offered consumer value of money. Examples of organized retail feature is the grocery stores, like department stores, where is associated with customers for booking into the stores for showroom and buying their necessary products. Huge quantities of goods are stocked up in these retail stores, and huge discounts, which are gained by the company, are passed down to the consumer. So here in Silay, examples of the organized retail feature is the Gisano, Woodman, Prince, and Seymour. They used to organize the products so that the customers is di na sila mabudlayan magpili-pili sa ilang nga mga baklod. Once nga once nga maglibot sila sa bilog nga grocery stores is makita na nila kung ano nga gusto nila nga product ang ila baklod. So hindi na hassle para sa ila magbakal. Retailing trends in India. Consumer wants more benefits without additional costs. A rising income label. Cheap no longer work but value for money. Explosion of communication channel influences choices of product. Increased literacy has made consumers more conscious of his bargaining power. Um, Growing number of urban nuclear family. Okay. When we say retailing trends in India, new retail format and combinations are emerging and have opened new world opportunities for Indian youth. In India, a young population, growing middle class, massive investment and infrastructure in one of the world's fastest rising economies are changing the retail landscape in India. Retailing trends in India. Influence of retailer increase. Assortment plus other facilities offered. Rural consumers wants the same thing as their urban counterparts and are willing to pay for it. Better organized supply chains to cater a larger number of outlets in different locations. Improves infrastructure helping the consumer. A bigger volume helps in economy scales. So when you say retailing trends in India, new investment by foreign brands continue to drive the transition to organized retail. By category, food and groceries make up 60% of the retail in India. Other prominent categories are consumers electronic at 10% and apparel at 8%, but apparel is expected to grow up by as much as 11% by 2021.
Good day everyone. Today we will discuss about the FDI in retail in India. MNC players showing interest to operate in India. Resistance from their existing players. So far only cash and carry permitted. Franchises also allowed KFC, Tag, Swatch, McDonald's. January 26, 0.25% FDI permitted in a single brand businesses. All products should be under the same brand name. Same brand should be sold internationally. Branding at the time of the manufacturing itself. Explanation. The FDI retail in India are pointedly minimal because of the retailing operations recognized advocacy to push through the rules. Mainly India permitted only at 51% FDI permitted in a single brand businesses. The cost of starting a business in India is astronomically, and the procedures involved can be daunting without local knowledge. There are 12 procedures to complete in the initial set of the business, costing 49.8% of income per capita. It takes almost a month of 27 days to complete the task on average, which is well above the QECD average of 12 days. Trade retail format. Range of goods and customer services. Dimensions determine the format. Elements distinguish between stores and include store ambience, can't afford, saving in time for shopping, interiors of practical design, reduce time for each, and pick up of goods. Location, physical characteristics, external appearance, arrangement of goods. All these are parts of the positioning strategy and influence the footfalls to the store. My explanation. Retailing in India is one of the pillars of economy and accounts for about 10% of its GDP. In the Indian retail market is estimated to be US $600 billion and one of the top 5 retail markets in the world by economic value. India is one of the fastest growing retail markets in the world with 1.2 billion people. We will go to categories of shoppers. Identified by Cook and Walters. Task focuses on shoppers visit to the store to buy specific things he has planned for convenience. Minimum time, easily accessible goods, pleasing store format, grocery shopping is an example. Leisure shopper. More interested in the ambience and environment. Has plenty of the time, wants to have a good time while shopping. Lifestyle stores are example. My explanation. Category of shoppers. Convenience goods have value probably gained from the shopping, and making comparison is a small compound of the time, effort, and mental discomfort required in the search to phase. Shopping good, high value, gain large refrigerator, special goods, clearly distinguished by brand preference. Maruti Zen car or Tag Heuer watch. My explanation number 3 and number 4. People in India wants to buy a product in their leisure in their categories of shoppers. Identifies India's consumer wants and types to be used in their everyday needs and necessity. Shoppers are more mindful and knowledge to buy a product. Usually shoppers gain more time and mental effort, like Filipinos' attitude of buying decision. Trading area. Catchment area from where most of the customer of retail store come. Corner grocery store caters to the loyalty in which it is situated. Discount stores have a under area sub-Hikasya locations has consumer in a 2-kilometer radius. Specialty stores have a much wider trading area. MTR shoppers, stop, etc. Trading area increases with the size of the store and the variety it offers. An explanation of trading area. Every customs unions, trade common market, economic union, customs, and monetary union also has a free trade area. India has been moving toward protectionism in the recent years, and many Indian lobbies are terrified on competing other countries. That's all, and good day to everyone.
Retail strategy. Positioning of retailer, merchandising, customer service, customer communication. Positioning of retailer meaning it is creating an image or identity for the store. It is the place a store occupies in given market as perceived by the target market. Positioning is something that is done in the minds of target market. Positioning is expressed relative to position of the competitors. And then, number one, wide range with a high value lifestyle brand of stores. For me, if your business is broad, you have also more expenses to buy more product and earn more profit. It is depends on your lifestyle how to get the attention of every buyer. You know who the audience is and you know what your lifestyle. And then number two, limited wins but a high value at the Tanishki Jewelry Store. It is a limited scope of product but have a high value and time of pricing. Number three, limited range with a limited value at Bata stores. Little scope with a little value. And then last, number four, wide range of goods but limited value added. Food World's outlet. Have a broad scope of goods because many people want to eat anywhere but have a small value. And then number two, merchandising. What is merchandising? Merchandising is the practice and process of displaying and selling products to customers, whether digital or in store. Retailers use merchandising to influence customer intent and reach their sales goals. A set of activities involved in acquiring goods and services and making them available at the places, times and prices and the quantity that enable a retailer to reach his goals. The most critical function in retail. For example, most business owners describe the critical function as proving good service, providing quality control and product. And then, next, directly affects the revenue and profitability of the store. The most direct factor that affects profit margin is your net or gross profit. One of the easiest and fastest ways to adjust profit margins to adjust the sales price of product or service. While most margin can be explained quantitatively external factors such as consumer sentiment, halo effects, and other emotional factors can factor in as well. And then also takes into account the assortment of goods and their quality. However, assortment strategies can be disadvantageous if the product mix. Number 3, customer service strategy. Develop to create stickiness in customers. Know who you're looking for. Stickly customers, those who have loyalty to your brand, who stick around you after a year. And then 2, know that they want. 3, offer the right offer. And 4, meet customer expectation. And then remind them of your value. And then personal data collection using IT encoding, purchasing practices, and preferences. Like examples of personal data, like name, email address, phone numbers, job function, and employer details, institutional affiliations, gender and nationality, areas of scientific interest, event registration. Example of personal data. And then customer loyalty programs plan. Customer loyalty programs are designed to incentivize repeat purchases by providing its members discount, unique offers, VIP events, and more. Loyalty programs come in many forms, ranging from simple stamp cards to sophisticated point-based reward system, but all are geared toward bringing customers back to engage with a brand. Example, attract new customers, retain existing customers, reactivate dormant customers, and nudge them to spend more. And then create customer delight. Example, always try to do better at anticipate customer needs, deliver beyond customer expectations, be consistent across channels, empathize with customers, empower your employees. And then, location strategy to give a competitive advantage. Superior business location, an important way to beat your competition in getting sales. If the competing company already has a good location, other strategy is to weaken or undermine that location. If your superior location is being attacked, differentiating from the competitions may help stave off the attack. And then last, understanding the buying profile of the customers. A customer profile, sometimes referred to as a customer profile, is a document that lists points, interests, buying patterns, and demographic characteristics of a company's customers. The document is presented in a manner that makes it look like a description of a real person with a full name and image. For example, age, job, income, location, education, home, relationship, fashion, roles, models, and spare time, exercise, TV shows, and magazines, blogs. And last, customer communication. The manner in which the retailer makes himself known to his customers has two parts to it. One, the messages which the retailer sends to his customers and prospects. And two, the word of mouth support which satisfied customers give to the retailer by talking to others. And then retailer communicates about announcing the opening of a store, promotions running in the store, and additional facilities introduced by the stores.
Pricing strategy. Premium and indicating high value, reasonable pricing with good value, low pricing but high value for money. All strategies are focused on giving value to the customer. The pricing strategy refers to the method companies use to price their products or services. Almost all companies, large or small, base the price of their products and services on production, labor, and advertising expenses, and then add on a certain percentage so they can make a profit. Product differentiation. Feature exclusive national brands not available in competing retailers, unlike in exclusivity of products, specialty stores, mostly private labels, West Side, feature big specially planned merchandising events or the camp fashion shows, introduce new products before competition, again unlikely. The product differentiation in economics and marketing, it is the process of distinguishing a product or service from others to make it more attractive to a particular target market. This involves differentiating it from competitors' products as well as a firm's own product. Retail performance measures. Gross margin return on inventory investment or the GMROI. The GMROI measures the profit you make from the amount you invest in product stock. What this means in practice is that for every dollar you spend in your inventory, the GMROI generally tracks specific products or categories rather than inventory as a whole. Its specificity can tell you what is worth carrying in your stock and what is not, as well as what you could invest further in. The more you make on each profit margin, the better your retail business does as a whole. Gross margin per full-time equivalent employee. The FTE, or the full-time equivalent, refers to the unit of measurement equivalent to an individual, worker, or student. One unit of a work or school day, applicable in a variety of contexts. In most cases, full-time equivalents measure an employee or student and/or their workload. Gross margin per square foot. Sales per square foot measures how effectively you are using the area you have, and sales per square inch is a good indicator of your store's productivity while offering insights into stores and merchandise layouts. Franchising. Franchisor is the firm which wants to sell its goods or services. Franchisee is the firm or group that are willing to sell the products or services on behalf of the franchisor. The first party gives advice and help to the second to find good locations, blueprints for a store, financial, marketing, and management assistance. In franchising, it is a form of marketing and distribution in which the owner of a business system or the franchisor grants to an individual or group of individuals, the franchisee, the right to run a business selling a product or providing a service using the franchisor's business system. Benefits to the franchisor. Faster expansion. Local franchisee pays lower advertising rates than a normal firm. Owners motivated to work more hours than mere employees. Local taxes and licenses are responsibility of franchisees. In a franchise business, the franchisor provides a developed way of doing business, ongoing guidance, systems, and assistance in return for periodic payment of fees and/or purchases. The benefits to the franchisor include regular royalty payments, expansion with reduced financial risk, and a greater geographical presence. The franchisee thus do not incur costs related to new product development and, for example, research and development, market surveys, introductory advertisements, and penetration pricing. The franchisee benefits from well-established brands that are fully recognized by customers. A franchisee will benefit from well-established supply chains, storage facilities, as well as promotional platforms. In this regard, a franchisee does not have to look for new intermediaries or distributors of the products.
So, my report is about franchising. So, franchisor is the firm which wants to sell its goods or services. And franchisee is the firm or group that are willing to sell the products or services on behalf of the franchisor. The first party gives advice and help to the second to find good locations, blueprints for a store, financial, marketing, and management assistance. So, during a slide, it will show the difference between franchisor and franchisee. So, franchisor or may benefits ang pag-franchise ng isa ka business or ang franchising sa franchisor. And what is that? So, first, faster expansion. So faster expansion of a business or organization. Second, local franchisee pays lower advertising rates than a national firm. So, third, owners motivated to work more hours than mere employees. And lastly, local taxes and licenses are responsibility of the franchisees. So, next is its benefits to franchisee. So, quick recognition among potential customers. So, dasig lang ma-recognize or mabalaan nila kung sino ang mga customers or the target customers or consumers. Another is management training provided by principal. And principal may buy ingredients and supplies and sell to franchisee at lower prices. And then financial assistance. And last is promotional aids in store display, etc. So, retailing on the internet. So, today we are in a modern world, right? Because of there are a lot of technology na mo ang pwede mahimo, such as retailing. Ang retailing pwede na siya mahimo through internet. And so retailing on the internet, there will be unlimited assortment. So unlimited assortment of a product. As a consumer, syempre, if it is through online or retailing on the internet, damo kapilian na gusto mo nga mga products and services, right? So another is item may not be on hold. Someone has to deliver the product. So ang item nga gusto mo, syempre hindi man na siya ma-hold because, right, for example, ang Shopee, kung mag-order ka sa ila, then there is someone nga ma-deliver, right? Then more info makes the customer a shopper. So, damo-damo pag siya information, the features and the benefits nga makita sa pag-order mo sa a certain product or services sa online or sa internet. Next is comparison shopping possible. So, we cannot deny the fact that kung through internet lang siya, ang makambal gid ang isa ka consumer nga what's the difference between sang retailing nga sa internet or sa retailing nga face to face nga mayara gid someone nga ga-offer si mo kag makabakal ka gid product siya matouch mo gid ang product. So another is consumer has to plan purchases ahead. So if you are going to have or want a product or services nga through internet, as a consumer, you have to planuhan mo gid sa before mo i-purchase ang muna product. You should think not twice, but kadamo gid. Kay diba, if sometimes if online lang siya, hindi ta hindi ta siya ma-avoid nga kanami is picture, but then sa pagabot na doon hindi ta ma-satisfy sa aton naging order. So no need to handle cash. Payment can be online. So as I said earlier that in today's modern generation na hindi lamang ang mga retailing, ang mga services kag ang mga products ang ma-purchase ta. But then we can pay manasa nga muna aging purchase ta through online. For example, for that is GCash, PayMaya. So also makashop ka 24/7. So it means 24 hours if you're going to purchase a product or services through online. 24 hours mo siya nga pwede ka pili isang gusto mo nga product. Hindi mo siya kinahanglan nga magulat time kung saan pa ma-open ang certain nga shop para lang makabakal ka sa gusto mo. Kaga mo na siya yung isa ka benefits if you're going to purchase a product or services sa online or through internet. So, there is an e-tailing issues. So, logistic supports to selling, payment gateway, customer product returns, conflicts with brick and mortar or overcome by selling separate products. So, syempre sa amo man nga through internet man no, kapag order ta ng yes, mayara siya benefits or advantages, but then also mayara man sa disadvantages kag kung kisa ng mga just like as I said earlier, payment gateway, kung kisa sa mga payment nang magka-problema gito da, and then customer products return. What if ang customer hindi masatisfy sa iyang product nga nag-abot siya or gin-deliver siya? So that would be also a big problem when it comes sa retailing through internet.